everybody. Welcome back to Homework with the Hooligans. Last week, I assigned some lovely, very challenging homework to watch two Eddy Burback videos, which I should have pulled up so I could remember their names exactly. But basically, they were two videos talking about late night, just late night television shows like, Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel and fucking all the other thousands of late night hosts. And I guess I've never been like super into late night. Like I don't actively watch it or actively care about a lot of the people, but I really liked the videos that Eddy made just because they were very informative and entertaining, and it kind of highlighted how each of the late night hosts does their own thing and like their take on the late night formula and like who does it well and who doesn't and how things are adapting. And especially with the second video that he made where he was talking about late night after the pandemic, it was very topical and interesting to see how things have shifted over time, even when it's a media that I wasn't necessarily following super closely beforehand. So what did y'all think? I know some of y'all already watched this video beforehand, and some of y'all just watch Eddy Burback. So,
yeah, that's right.
I thought it was good. I'm in the same boat as you, Jason, where like I'm not a huge like late night person. Of course, I've seen the sketches that Fallon does. He'll play like games with people. Those are always entertaining. But I've never really been a huge, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch a late night show. I maybe, went out and watched the Colbert Report a couple times because that was, incredible. But now with everything, it's just that I don't really care that much, I guess. But his takes on it were very interesting, and it was really cool to see him sort of like break down the differences between all of them. Not only in like the initial video, but in how it's changed from the pandemic. And it was cool because he like obviously has his biases towards Conan, but he was able to like objectively look at everybody and had an interesting take on like Lily Singh, who I honestly don't even know who that person is, but apparently she's a YouTuber, I guess, that turned to late night. That was just cool. His his take on what she's doing and everything was kind of interesting to see as someone who also does YouTube, to see what he thought about all of that. But he's a funny guy, so he made something that I'm not really interested in interesting.
Yeah.
Whenever I was a kid and I would be watching TV with my dad, and then David Letterman would come on, that's how I'd know it's time for bed. That being said, like a little bit of a side note, David Letterman's show that is on Netflix is actually super good. He's a very good interviewer. And I actually do kind of like him, as well as being sort of in the same boat of like Conan is the god of late night and everyone else is kind of meh. Even though like I really wanted to like Stephen Colbert, but like so much so that I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch like live. I'm gonna try to watch it live, and then it just got really boring after a while. I guess I wanted it to be the Colbert Report, and it wasn't, which is probably just my fault of having that expectation.
How dare you?
But yeah, I know, honestly. But yeah, no, I pretty much like agree with most of Eddy's takes on stuff. I forget exactly if he mentioned it, but like specifically, but Conan like did something really interesting lately where he like shortened the format of his actual show. Right. And so he like he's been putting more effort into his podcast, which is like an interview podcast, and it's like really good. Like like I would say if you don't want to like listen to all of them, it's definitely worth listening to ones with like people that you like at the very least. But but he has like a 4-part one with Dana Carvey that I was going to eventually listen to. But yeah, no, I think Conan's got the right idea, and it is kind of funny how he mentions in like the second video where Lily Singh is like the youngest like late night host right now, and she's like the one who's like sort of sticking to this old like tired formula, and then Conan is like the oldest one. He seems to be the one who's like pushing the boundaries and making interesting content where there seems to be a lack of interesting content.
Yeah. Not only like the age is a consideration, but like the fact that Lily Singh came from YouTube and she's just I don't know, probably some agent just like, oh hey, do this, it'd be cool. And it's just like forcing her to like probably do some boring ass shit, whereas Conan's actually like he's been entrenched in the late night genre, I guess, for so long that he's the one actually wanting to push the boundaries of it. So it's a interesting spin for sure.
I mean, definitely doesn't help that she pre-recorded a bunch of shit. So she can't. I mean, I don't know. Who's to say if she can or can't like change things or how much say she has, but kind of railroaded themselves into a corner by pre-taping a late show, which doesn't make any sense at all.
A questionable decision.
I understand pre-taping it maybe because it's so late at night, like her time slot, but like why are they pre-taping like months in advance? Like
well, that's how most are done. Like they're shot like usually the day of, but in like the afternoon. Yeah, they're never like live. It's usually live to tape. Yeah,
but I guess just like that far in advance, I guess.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's just weird.
Yeah,
because most of them they still do like at the very least like during the same week or something. But
especially right now
is her.
Like with how fast the the news cycle has been recently, with everything that's going on, it just seems kind of weird, like a weird decision to pre-tape that far in advance. Because I mean, I'm sure the stuff that we were talking about a month ago, we don't even bring up anymore, like the murder hornets, like
burger hornets.
I don't want to hear about burger hornets.
The burger hornets. I've got food on my mind. No, but like the murder hornets, like that kind of stuff, if they had have talked about that a month ago and then they bring it up in a segment on their show, like people are just gonna be like, oh yeah, that was a thing, all right, whatever, no one's gonna care. It just seems like a weird decision, especially right now,
especially when it's such like a key thing in the late night is like, here's the news, but like kind of entertaining, so it'll be kind of weird when like the news is old, outdated.
Does she even do that really? I feel like from what I've seen, her monologues never really have anything to do with
they're not like topical
events. And
what are you even monologuing over?
Like Trump won the election.
No, maybe she's monologuing the future. I don't know.
Cheeto Trump made a tweet.
Yeah, I think I disagreed with Eddie on his kind of like final point of, well, it's not a full disagreement, but how he was kind of saying like, okay, well, Conan's done it right, so this is how like late night needs, because a critique I have is I don't think he was very good at making the point that was like the title of his videos. He just kind of said stuff that was tangent to it, because I think the unifying thing of why most of the other shows don't work is, and I'm probably going to say some hot takes, but I'll go ahead and admit that I'm biased towards Conan as well, but I think that's more because I think Conan is a legitimately funny person, and he has like comedy writing chops since he wrote for SNL and The Simpsons. And pretty much all the other late night hosts, I genuinely don't consider them funny people, and I also don't think that their writing staffs have very creative funny people, and I think that's why like people like Lily Singh, I mean NBC has already shown that they kind of are dumbasses when it comes to late night because of what they did to Conan.
True.
So I'm sure that their writing staff that they gave to Lily Singh is not made of the most prolific writers in the world of comedy.
Yeah.
And I just think that, like, I can only expect Conan to make the content he does because he is a smart guy who, not to say like the others aren't smart, but he's like, I mean, he's a very creative guy because he's like made points of how he does music, he reads, he does like a lot of other stuff, and I think he knew how to best adapt to like different things because he knows how like comedy changes.
Yeah.
And the others are just kind of like cringy when it comes to comedy. I mean, Kimmel is kind of like an older guy anyways.
Yeah.
And he's not like, I like Kimmel, honestly. He's probably like my second favorite of the group, but I wouldn't say that he's like the funniest guy. He's a little more grounded. And then, I mean, Fallon was on SNL, but he's not the funniest guy.
Fallon was on SNL and he like became notorious for like breaking character
right.
Yeah.
because
So
he
that was
laughs
like
so
the
much.
bit.
It's
Yeah.
like,
I mean, he's good at impressions. That's like his best
Yeah.
talent. And then James Corden can jump off a cliff, frankly.
Oh, God.
Dude, I want
Carpool
James
karaoke into
Corden.
a cliffside.
I do
I
not
want
like James Corden.
I want James Corden's show to be like good because I love Reggie Watts, and I just don't know who made the decision to put those two together. But
Yeah.
I want better for Reggie.
Wasn't Reggie on that? What was that show called? Comedy Bang Bang?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was.
Okay, that was like parody, but it was a talk show format, and that like was so much better with him.
Slight tangent, but still related. Where do we stack Eric Andre among these?
I was thinking about that
late
same
night
thing too.
hosts? Because like we were watching some YouTube videos. I think just yesterday actually.
Yeah.
And I was like, this kind of is like what Eddie is talking about, like to the extreme of just like the late night format and then just fucking with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's like it's the like quote unquote problem, which it's not like truly a problem, but what hurts it is that it's the extreme into niche
Yeah.
Yeah.
of
Definitely.
only like honestly very few people are probably like going to understand it and or appreciate it, because I've like I've never tried to watch the show, but I'll try to watch clips, and even I am uncomfortable to the point that I like turn it off because I'm just like, all right,
Yeah.
this is very strange. His what do they call it when they're like out?
Man on the street.
I guess they called it like something else, but when he does that, like that's the more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my favorite of those are Eric Andre at the Republican National Convention.
Yeah.
And then because of that video, the second one is called Eric Andre near the Democratic National Convention because they revoked his press pass.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So he just is like around it. Oh man.
I don't know. It's like
Yeah,
so far out there. Like
No, it totally is.
It's like almost
like
its own thing.
incomparable.
Yeah.
No, it totally is its own thing.
At that
but
point, it's
I
like-
just felt like bringing it up.
Yeah. No, but I was thinking about that too. Cause it's like Eric Andre ? Just because he's so out there. I'm not even sure if we can even technically label it late night.
Mhm.
But damn, if it isn't entertaining.
Yeah.
It's also kind of like weird and maybe possibly telling how it seems that everyone kind of questions like, is this late night host like nice? Like there was kind of that recent stuff about James Corden, and then it's kind of always been like, is Jimmy Fallon faking it? Which there's a clip with him and like Rami Malek was on, and it could just be totally taken out of context, but there's like a moment where Jimmy has his hand out and Rami like kind of grabs it and he kind of pulls away and makes a like disgusted face to where it's like, oh, that's kind of like strange for him, but it's also like it could have just been like the face he was making.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never really heard any of that with Conan, because I think I remember the point that he brought up that I kind of never really thought about, was how Conan makes fun of himself more than he like tries to, I guess, kind of like
make fun of others.
Yeah, or rag on his guests. And it's always like really awkward when the hosts try to do that.
Yeah, they act like they're cooler with the guests than they are.
Yeah.
And that also reminds me, who's the one that, I think it's Fallon that does the Halloween candy
That's
shit?
Kimmel.
No.
That's
Oh,
Kimmel.
Kimmel, okay.
Yeah.
I cannot fucking stand that bit. That shit's so fucking weird.
It was like funny the first year because it was still in that kind of, that's okay. And then the next year it was like people kind of snapped out of it and went, wow, you're like torturing your kids.
Yeah, it's kind of a big move.
Just be nice to your kids, maybe?
His mean tweet segment is his best.
Oh yeah,
That's
for
true.
sure.
That's a good segment.
So like you're an adult, you like
I
not
feel
like take
like-
it personally.
Yeah, but I feel like Mean Tweets is such a good segment because it's very like digital content worthy.
Yeah.
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
You've
It's-
seen
it's
it more
like-
on YouTube
it's
than you saw it on the show.
100%.
Exactly.
I hardly even associate it with Kimmel.
Right.
And
True.
and that's just kind of the same thing with like Carpool Karaoke, because like he sold it to Apple TV or whatever, right? So like
Right.
it's like the segments, these
Worth
like
more.
yeah.
I feel like,
Exactly.
and that's like a case where it's weird because it's like, oh, this was James Corden's thing, but then he like sold it.
Yeah.
It'd be like
yeah.
if Kimmel sold Mean Tweets, I feel like it would kind of lose the, like, it was kind of special of that. Oh, you never knew when another one was going to come out, and I don't think a new one's
Mhm.
come out for a long time now. But if it
Yeah.
was just like a weekly show, it'd just be kind of like, okay, here's this week's slew of people being mean on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, but what about Ellen?
Oh,
Dude, don't even.
I was actually gonna bring up Ellen when you were talking about the whole is such and such host actually nice?
Yeah.
Because I've been like seeing some stuff of people like kind of picking apart like people's reactions to Ellen, and I forgot who made it, but there was like some commentary YouTuber.
I bet I know what
I
video you're
think-
talking about.
Yeah, and it was, he made a video about this like segment that Ellen did, where it was like fucking millennials don't know how to use a
You're talking
phone
about,
book.
Scott Kramer.
Who did it? Is it Scott Kramer? Okay,
Yeah,
I fucking love Scott
Ellen,
Kramer.
your boomer is showing. I think. Is what
Yeah,
the video's
yeah.
called. It's a very
And like the segment was about like okay, we got this like 20-something-year-old, and she's gonna have to, or no, it wasn't even 20-something. I think she might have been like a teenager. I could be wrong. Somewhere in that range. So like not even actually a millennial, first of all.
Yeah.
And then but they might not have used the word millennial too. Shit, I don't remember very much. But the point was, it was like a younger person, and like they had to like open up a phone book and call a number on like a rotary phone, and like it was so stupid
Some
because it's
typical
like
daytime television crap.
exactly, yeah, like
yeah.
when are you ever gonna need to do that? Also, no one taught her to do that.
Yeah.
Like that's not her fault. She never needed that
We
skill,
live in a
and
society
no
where
one
it's
taught
not
her that skill
relevant.
arbitrarily. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like,
It's like expecting someone to be able to fly a plane when they've lived in a country that doesn't have planes or pilots. Like, how would you know how to do it? You wouldn't. There's no reason to. And it's obviously not relevant if there's no planes in your fucking country. So
yeah.
Or it's like expecting old people to like attach something to like an email, because you still have those people that are like that old that can't even do something like that. It's like it works both ways. Like
This old person can't even log into their iPhone.
exactly.
What a fucking idiot.
that's a little.
What
that's
is
a
an
little clown
iCloud?
Ellen's kind of strange
This-
too, because I feel like a few years ago she was kind of on the track that Eddie was talking about, of kind of becoming a little more influencer
Mhm.
media, like when she hosted the Oscars, she did like the selfie thing,
I
and
remember that.
like I remember some of like she was kind of like Kimmel on YouTube, where she was kind of like the daytime television host that you would just see YouTube videos of. Because I mean, there was even like the meme of like any kid that just like does something somehow ends up on her show just because.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like fallen off. Yeah, I mean, any viral person would be on her show, and I mean now it's like, I guess she's out. But
who knows?
with like, I think the last I saw was they're thinking of having Kristen Bell take over.
Interesting.
Which I'm like, so is this show still called Ellen?
It's called
Thanks
Kristen
for tuning
Bellin.
into Ellen with
Kristen
Bell.
Bell.
Kristen
Krellin.
Krillin.
Kristen
It's called
Bell.
Krellin now.
That's gross. I don't like that.
There was something. Oh no, go.
Oh.
I can't remember what I was thinking of. So you got something.
Okay, I was going to relate the late night stuff to something I thought was kind of similar. So Eddy, and we've kind of talked about like the bits that work. It seems like the bits that work the most are like the like pre-recorded like digital stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like something else where I think that's the case is Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And like I was wondering, I was like trying to like theorize like what Saturday Night Live would be like if it wasn't live at all.
Yeah.
If it was
And
just Saturday night.
Like it definitely just wouldn't be the same thing, but I wonder if it would like work more. Like I wonder if the quality would go up because it's like, I don't know. Like I'm sure not necessarily more time goes into writing the digital shorts than like the stuff that's like done live,
Yeah.
but it definitely feels that way.
I mean, they have to like write for that week, so I feel like it probably wouldn't. I guess the writing piece wouldn't change because that is a little. You're actually having to do a little more because you have to write it, set up the studio. I mean, I don't know how many like digital bits are usually in an episode of SNL, but then you have to like set up the studio, shoot all that, reconfigure. Whereas, live you're able to. There is like the stagecraft of just kind of switching stage around, swapping costumes, and then you already know the part. And I feel like just like the act of filming it can get into the space of it doesn't look right, so let's reshoot it again.
Yeah.
Whereas live, it's just kind of, it's all pretty standardized of, I assume they do like a 3-camera stage setup or your basic stage setup, and it's always going to be, well, that's the run, that's the take, and even if like someone laughs, it's fine because it's live and people know that's the formula.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be perfection, which kind of relates to what Eddy was talking about in some part of the video, I think. Oh, fuck. What part of... Oh, God. I can't remember what part of the video where he said something about... Nah, I'll try to remember.
The other part that I was going to say was, like, honestly, even if the the digital parts of the episode are comparatively better to like the live parts, I'm still willing to guess that like in the grand scheme of things, there's only a few of those. Like if you took all of the digital projects they've done, there's only a few that really, really stand out. Whereas the rest, so like to answer the question of do you think the show would be better? It might be slightly better, but I really think it'd still be about the same quality because I feel like SNL is really, I feel like it's really more based on the cast and who you have on that is making the show, which is why you always have kind of the anecdote of, back in the 80s or whenever, when it was like the dream cast as opposed to like, I probably couldn't name 5 of the like main cast of SNL right now.
Keenan Thompson.
Well, that's like
Right?
a given.
Is he still on it?
Yeah.
He'll be there
All
forever.
5.
Bobby Moynihan. Is he still on it or no?
No.
I don't think he is.
is.
No.
Okay. I don't you keep up with SNL, Jose? Kind of.
Yeah, kinda. I try to. Keenan Thompson's
Is,
still there for sure.
is Colin Jost
Yes, him
and Michael Che,
and Michael Che, Cecily Strong,
and then I know Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson, Kate McKinnon, and then the other ones are I'm still trying to learn their names.
Nice.
So I could name 5 because I knew 5 of those people, but
Yeah.
I don't just. I mean, that's like the thing is most of the big SNL names have gone on to become even bigger, whereas if they're on SNL now, it's kind of they're stuck there. So if SNL isn't making them big, then they're not going to be big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 I mean, is there even like a benefit to having a live show at this point? Like, I feel like if anything, it almost just weighs things down more than it helps. You know? Like,
I mean,
think-
the only benefit I could see is like they keep the live music aspect,
yeah.
which it like kind of helps. An audience is nice to have, I feel like, in that kind of environment.
Yeah.
So they can tell you when to laugh.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess so. But and then also like scheduling with hosts and stuff. So it's like,
Yeah.
you're gonna be here on this day, so we're gonna shoot everything. Whereas if you tried to shoot like pre-recorded sketches with a host or a guest, it would be like, we're probably gonna shoot over a couple of days, and it's gonna be here and there and everywhere and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And there's just kind of there is like something to be said about kind of the traditions of shows, and I do think that like every piece of media like going to these like pre-recorded, I don't think that is like the best move, because like I feel like kind of Eddie's point also, I feel like it kind of applies, but I feel like what he was saying about moving into that kind of digitally format is only appealing to like certain population. Like I don't, I obviously like they still have to account for older populations and trying to get their attention, and I just don't think that is possible now, because I would think that most anyone that's watching SNL are probably along the older lines, just because it's on cable television.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of I feel like we're kind of getting to that point where a lot of these things have been on for so long, and network television just as a whole is fucking going downhill. So
Yeah.
I don't know that there really is an easy, surefire way to reel in both crowds. Yeah. And at this point, the safer bet is probably to try to reel in the younger people, because the younger people not only are more likely to watch more commonly, I feel like, just because we're more often using these services and things that you could be putting this stuff on, but also are probably more likely to get other people into your content.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess SNL is put on Hulu, so it's probably watched a lot through Hulu.
That's how I watch it. I hardly ever watch it live.
I feel like what you were kind of saying about like it's network television is possibly on the decline is where they kind of go, well, we could make a change that could revitalize the show, or that change could like screw us to where our ratings like tank. And then there's kind of the PR of, well, we tried this, but then we just had to kind of go back to the old format. And then you kind of get ripped for, they tried, but now they're just going to play the safe card. Whereas they would rather just say, let's just keep playing the safe card and not draw attention to that fact.
Yeah.
Afraid to take risks. I I remember what I was gonna say. Also, the live thing, like the live versus pre-recorded, and how Eddie kind of talked about leaning into how now a lot of content that you see is so much more real, just because a lot of it comes in the form of like podcasts or like live conversations with people talking to each other, or like live streams, and it's all very, I mean, it's not 100% real. Like, people still have a persona. Not every streamer is exactly who they look like on stream. That's just not how it is. But it feels a lot more personable in a way, because it's harder to feel like the person that you're listening to is fake when you're listening to them in real time, having like a conversation with someone, no edits, no nothing special. It's just them talking, and there's a lot of appeal in that, I feel. Maybe not necessarily to everybody. I don't know how old people feel about the live shit, but whatever, old people.
Who cares about them?
Fuck them.
Honestly, how much longer can they watch TV for? Eye's gonna go.
Jesus, oh my god.
Cut that. I like old people. I'm sorry.
Sorry, old people.
To all of our old listeners.
Sorry, I
Open letter to
already
old
forgot
people.
to cut it.
I'm sorry.
We need to reach out to the CEO of old people.
The CEO of Old People is Betty White, I think.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Betty, if you want to come on the podcast and talk to us about reaching out to old people, you're more than welcome to.
She's got to be, because she has like seniority, right? She's so fucking old.
Seniority.
I like the videos a lot. I watched them today, actually, not too long ago. I'm not sure. I may be the only one. I don't watch Eddy Burback like at all. So this is like the first thing I've been like, I guess, his content that I've been exposed to. But I agreed with pretty much everything he said. I was just like, yeah, that's right, the entire time. It's like,
tell it like it is.
Yeah, I've never agreed with a person about something so much. Even like, I'm sure you guys already know, but I'm pretty biased too, as far as like late night, because I watched Conan growing up, so I had like this admiration for him. And I won't get too much into it because I don't want to like stray away from the topic, but huge fan, like hero to me. Watched him when he like got his cable show on TBS and just like grew up watching that. So I think he's great. But also just his criticism on just the genre in general was pretty fair, which is also part of the reason why I just continue to love Conan, is because he's just adapted. And, I think one thing that I really liked that he brought up was the like artificialness of it to some extent, because a lot of these interviews that are being done are for like celebrities or promoting this like upcoming content and stuff like that. And so it's just them coming on, like telling a story and then say, hey, my movie or something, whatever's coming out, check it out. And I don't know, like it just seems really, it's just fake, it's not really like all that entertaining unless you really like the person that's, that's being interviewed. So that's also part of the reason why I like Conan, because like he kind of strayed away from that when he cut down on his show. He like changed up his format, and he's just like, I'm just going to interview people that I like, and that's it. So he'll have just like his friends, come on the show, and you can tell they're just two buds, having a good time. And yeah, maybe some of them may have like an upcoming project that they'll bring up, but it's a lot less artificial. It's like two friends having a conversation, which is also why I like his podcast a lot. If you guys haven't checked it out,
isn't that what it's called?
What?
Wait. No. It's Conan Needs a Friend. Never mind.
Yeah, the podcast is Conan Needs a Friend, but like even like on his show, I haven't really been keeping up with it a whole lot, but from what I saw and like on YouTube, I'll catch like some stuff, and it really is just like him and his friends, at least on the show, just talking for a little bit and just having a good time. So to be able to do that and get paid for it, like, right on.
I mean, what we're doing.
Yeah, but, with money.
Oh, we're getting paid? Y'all
with
getting paid?
Millions of dollars.
All right, now everybody slam your desk like Fallon.
Hilarious.
Just laugh uncontrollably.
Hit that laugh button.
I like Fallon, just not as a late night host. Yeah. I think he seems like a cool guy. Like I'd probably grab a beer with him.
One thing that I when he was talking about like the incident with Louis C.K., I had always noticed how he'll ask a follow-up question, but like it's like always can you like clarify? But he basically just restates something that the guest just said. He just like constantly does that. Like any clip I've seen with him, it starts with "Wait, so you," and then he just says something that the guest already reiterated.
I think he like brought that up because he called him stupid. I'm pretty sure.
Like, why would you say that? That's a stupid, dumb thing to say.
He's like, Jimmy Fallon's just a little bit stupid. And I know that's mean to say, but and I was like, I mean, it's maybe. I guess that's a fair criticism.
So is Cord.
Yeah. You guys ever watch? What's it called? It's British. The Graham Norton show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Irish.
Oh, is he Irish?
Yeah.
Same thing.
I think it's because he has a lot of British celebrities go on it.
Yeah. I like his show. I haven't seen like a full episode, but the clips I see, I do like how British talk show hosts have everyone on the couch at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like a conversation with like famous people. It's like a round table almost. And like they're just chilling and having a good time. And you're like, oh, it's so cool. As opposed to like an un-American, there's like, all right, here's like, I think he mentioned this too. Mm-hmm. Like you'll have like
here's the important guest.
Yeah, the important guest, and then the less important guest. So
have y'all? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Have y'all seen the fucking clip of Conan where Nathan Fielder comes on?
Oh my god!
And he brings Susan Sarandon as a backup guest.
No. Yes.
Yeah, she doesn't say a word.
Yeah, she doesn't say anything the entire time because Conan tries to ask her a question and he's like, "Oh, am I?" Nathan cuts him off. He's like, "Am I not interesting?" She's supposed to be like a backup in case I'm not interesting. Is that what's happening? Oh my god, that is I highly recommend that. I'm gonna fucking post the link after we're done recording this, and if you're listening at home, please go watch that. That's such a good clip, and like, it works so well. Like Conan like plays along with it, but also there's not really anything to play along with because you can never tell if Nathan Fielder is being serious or not.
Yep.
It's such a good clip.
What's the like thing that Paul Rudd does?
Oh, he brings the same clip from
Mac and Me
to Conan, and he's done it like 20 times.
Yeah, there's a supercut somewhere on YouTube of all of them. It's really good.
Is it like anytime he's promoting a movie or something?
Yeah, every time.
Like, here's a clip from the new movie.
And then they just play it.
That's so funny.
And there's been times where they're like, all right, Conan goes, all right, this is the real clip. My producer's telling me it's the real one. And then it just plays the Mac and Me clip again. And then he just like has that stone look on his face and then just like looks over at Paul.
I think it was the Ant-Man one where it like starts out as a clip from Ant-Man, and then it's like Ant-Man edited into the Mac and Me clip.
It is.
That's so good.
Oh man. But see, like that's like a thing where like you can tell that they're like friends, and he like Paul's just like kind of riffing on him almost.
There's no other show that it could be done on.
Exactly, yeah. Like he doesn't go on other shows and do that. It's not like an anecdote that where he just like tells that on every late night show. Like the whole like thing that y'all were saying earlier. Like that's like such a real interaction, and like I don't know. No matter how expected it is, it's still funny.
I will say that Kimmel, even besides the Matt Damon thing, Kimmel does at least like. Is a good sport about things because he'll like they've made those videos where like I think it was John Krasinski. There's like an ongoing bit that John Krasinski will prank him and then he'll prank John
Okay.
But never like it's also that's like pre-recorded stuff, whereas Conan is willing to like have the interaction there. I've also noticed about late night hosts from just watching clips on YouTube. I think the one credit I'll give James Corden is he breaks the mold on this. Like every late night host, they have the guest that brings animals, and all of them, whether it's a act or not, are like always super freaky about it. They always act like super scared of animals, except Conan. Conan kind of talks too much, and Conan's loud, so I'm always like, he's probably scaring these animals more than anything, but he's at least trying to like be a good sport about it. Like Fallon and Kimmel are frankly both like assholes about it, and it's always really strange to me why you're going to bring a guest on that's going to like show animals, which is like frankly the more interesting content that you even make, and you're just going to kind of shit on them the whole time. I'm like, I kind of hope that the animal does attack you, because you just need to like shut up.
Yeah.
Got him.
Bars.
What the fuck is this thing? It's just a long tail? Well, yeah, Jimmy, it's a snake.
No, Jimmy.
Oh my god. Speaking of stupid animals. Sorry.
Hey,
Right on cue.
She's barked like my brownie has barked like 3 times, and every time I go over to open the door, she doesn't do anything.
Because she's
Yeah,
dumb.
because she's stupid.
She just wants attention.
Yeah, she just wants to be on the podcast.
Look, what's Brownie's homework? Is it
I put her
licking a socket?
Outside and poop.
Yeah, everybody lick a socket and tell me how it feels.
I've got to talk about that for 40
Everyone
minutes.
go lick a wall outlet and
Yeah.
describe the sensation.
Ruin your carpet.
These are all things that my dog
Allegedly
has actually done, by the way.
ruined the carpet.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Hey, drink water so fast until you
I don't
puke,
know.
and then
It's like
we'll
how
talk about it.
OJ allegedly did it. Brownie
Slam your
allegedly did
face
it.
onto the ground every time you're trying to eat.
Allegedly.
True.
That one's true.
Bark at the door when you're trying to come in, but then once the door is opened, retreat back to the ball that you left out there, and then not come in until you've gotten said ball.
Right. Yeah.
Damn, y'all almost
Dude,
be like
these-
talk show hosts.
Yeah.
These guys, they love talking shit about my dog.
Oh,
We
riffing.
do.
Deservedly so, but
That's
that's
fair.
fine. Do y'all watch a lot of these like types of YouTubers? These, I guess, commentary YouTubers.
God no.
I watch
No.
a lot. I think the main thing that I watch, other than people who play Dragon Ball Fighters right now, because that's a lot. But other than that, the main thing that I watch is commentary channels. But most of them are the people who are just looking at things that are goofy and are like comedians. It's not. I don't really watch the people who like go out of their way to get super deep into drama. I mean, I have a few people that I've like kind of one-off watch there, but it's typically like the Cody Ko's and the Drew Goodens and Danny Gonzalez, where they're just like, this is weird. I'm going to make a joke about it and we're going to have a goofy time.
Yeah, I feel that.
But it's definitely...
I used to like...
Yeah, it's not for everyone.
Yeah, I used to like really not enjoy it that much, because I was like, this is just like a video essay, but worse. But I kind of like shifted gears on it a little bit. I do like specifically Eddy and Drew Gooden. I like, and Scott Kramer, like I said earlier.
Oh, I forgot Curtis Connor. Curtis Connor
Yeah.
putting out good stuff.
But I think it's like the same thing as you. Is like they're just like kind of goofy,
Yeah.
just having some goofs and gaffs. They're not really like criticizing anything serious.
Basically reaction videos, but instead of somebody sitting in the corner of the screen while a full-length video plays in the top and they just go for 25 minutes, it's actual commentary about the content and the people are actually funny.
True.
But there also there's like a lot of commentary channels now. Like
Yeah.
Everyone and their mother runs a commentary channel or a podcast now, so
You got to be more niche.
Let's do a commentary channel about commentary channels.
Okay.
Oh, that's so good.
I think that would really
You know
pick
what?
up.
We got to get the leg up. We should do commentary about commentary channels about commentary channels.
Yeah.
Okay.
we're also gonna start a podcast.
This is why I don't
about
watch commentary
podcasts.
channels.
Dang.
Aren't we just a
I think
commentary
there
channel?
is-
If you really think about it.
Dang, that's true. No face cam though.
I mean,
We can change that.
Honestly, if they have a face cam, if they're just like talking to me, I refuse to watch it. I don't care. I don't care about their point. If they don't like show me anything, I don't want
Yeah,
to
they
look
need
at
some,
their
like,
We
face.
see your
B-roll.
boobs, dude.
I'm just like, this is the most boring possible thing that you could have made.
Yeah.
yeah, it is. I feel
That's
like
why I
that
didn't
really only
mind.
happens
Yeah.
with like movies and stuff when people are talking about like
God.
new movies.
Yes.
Because they can't show any, like there's not really any way for them to show any of the footage, so they just play the trailer footage on repeat.
Yeah.
And just like clip it up, and it's like, oh man, like I understand why you had to do this, but it's so painful.
There's also just like that blend of they try to do like the prime example is like Angry Joe when it comes to video games. Of he's got this like very weird digital set that looks awful, and I just like don't get how he's kind of like a big gaming personality, because it's just like very strange, because he goes from like the digital set to like this weird, his like setup is with I guess his team in this like kitchen room. So you're going from like strange quality to low quality, which in some cases works, but I don't know. It does not work for him.
Is it
to
the
me.
same? I haven't seen an Angry Joe video in like 8 years, like, genuinely, but I can kind of very vaguely remember what his set used to
It's
look
basically like a gray background, gray digital background, and there's like a square in the back, so it's supposed to kind of emulate like, I guess, kind of like a news background, but I don't know. I don't watch him much either because I just don't enjoy his content, but I've noticed that in the few times I have watched that it's just this weird. It's like Dr. Disrespect setup, but Doc's
But
setup
that
is
setup
like
makes
actually
sense
good.
for a streamer.
Yeah, and it's like
And it's,
way like leans
professional.
into high quality of it's like cartoony, whereas Joe's is like it's not cartoony, but it's also not realistic. It's this weird like edgy, and it just doesn't work.
You heard it here first, folks. Angry Joe is edgy.
More like Edgy Joe.
Woo!
Had to get that one in. You know?
Yeah, we did it.
Really flexing our comedy muscles.
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
Instead of
Do-
late night TV, they should just stream. Honestly, I would watch Conan like stream video games. He has that little segment on his show
Oh yeah.
where was it like Clueless Gamer or something like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny because he like it seems like it like I really feel like it's not fake. He like he's not a good player of video games, which I guess makes sense because he's older, but still. Yeah,
How old
I'd
is
watch
he?
him stream on Twitch. That'd be funny.
How old is Conan?
He's 50
Probably.
something, I think.
Yeah, he's
Dang.
gotta be in his 50s.
He's late 50s, if not early 60s.
That's crazy.
He is. Where is it?
Typing. He's 57. He's almost 60 years old.
Oh,
Fuck.
Goddamn.
that's crazy.
Old man.
I didn't know until recently that he's like. I don't know if it was since they were kids, but since the 80s, he's like known and worked with Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
Really?
Like they
Oh,
were in
wow.
an
That's so
acting.
cool.
I just saw this the other day. They were in an acting duo together where who was it? Oh, I think Bob did like the voices of the characters and Conan did all of the facial. So like Conan was the physical actor and Bob was like the voice actor. And they were just like, it was awful, but we had fun with it. And then they wrote together on SNL.
Yeah. I think they may have also worked on The Simpsons together.
Probably.
Wait, Bob Odenkirk wrote for SNL?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he wrote with Conan and another guy. I forget his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That man's a Harvard graduate. Conan, that is. It's kind of crazy to think about.
Damn.
Just goes to show you.
Yeah.
Harvard. I don't know what it goes to show you. I didn't.
I
was like, oh shit.
I was not prepared.
Right, good one. No. Best podcast host award. We're gonna send you a plaque.
Damn, I hate it when people aren't unsuccessful, so I can't shit on school.
Jose,
Yes.
his Bill Odenkirk,
his brother
is his brother, and he is a writer for The Simpsons.
Yeah, I think he also wrote for Futurama.
He did.
I feel like, yeah,
he did.
Yes. Futurama's so good, dude. I want to rewatch it.
What a good show.
What's the show?
That's next up on my list. Honestly.
Doesn't Bob Odenkirk have a show with David Cross?
Yes, I think it's
Does he?
Bob and Mr. Show or something to that extent. It's called like that.
Oh, here it is, Mr.
But
Show.
I think it's like
with
or
Bob
maybe
and
it's just
David.
Mr. Show. Yeah, and I think they put it on Netflix.
Okay.
Like I think it was like revamped at some point. I'm not sure. I don't think it lasted very long, but yeah, he definitely worked with David Cross.
Nice.
Speaking of shows, I can't remember if we talked about this, but we probably didn't because I think it literally just happened a couple days ago.
Yeah.
The stuff about Avatar. Did we talk about this?
Yeah.
I think we
did.
We might have just talked about it. Wait, do we talk about it on the podcast?
We talked about it.
Yes.
I think we did.
It was Friday
because
when
we
we
did it.
recorded last.
Okay.
We changed our recording
I forgot.
day. Yeah.
Never mind. We don't need to talk about it.
Let's talk about it again. Get our money's worth.
I already binged
I
Korra.
did start watching Korra.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Nick just finished it, but I just started it, and I'm liking it so far. I have to like mentally be like, okay, this is not the same show, but it's still good, and like it very much like sets itself apart, from the original, like The Last Airbender.
Mhm.
Like everything is like different, but I think it still like kind of has the same charm. Me and Darian are watching it, and she was like, it kind of like just the not in a bad way because this is gonna come off negatively, but she was like, it kind of makes me think of like Boruto.
Oh no!
Just the way that like it's like seemingly like a huge time jump, except in Avatar, I feel like it makes a little bit more sense because like that's Aang's entire lifetime that like time has been passed, whereas Boruto isn't Naruto like still alive and it's like still
Yeah.
Boruto's probably
yeah,
like
and
a
it's, like,
20
kind of
Naruto's it's only like a 20-year jump.
Yeah.
Korra is
yeah,
like
whereas
70.
Korra's like it's like I was gonna say probably almost 100 years, but yeah, it's pretty good though. Pretty good show. Maybe the live action remake of Korra will be good.
Finish the show first, and then make that assessment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, before we talk about Conan for a fifth time,
Hell yeah.
you got anything, Jose? Got something else?
I do. I was trying to save this for later, just because I didn't.
Later
want
when? You're not gonna get another turn.
No,
for,
I meant like
potentially 2 months.
save this. Yeah, just save this for later, just because I wasn't trying to do another show. I was trying to put something like a different form of content, but I couldn't think of anything else, and it's already been brought up, so I feel like we might as well do it. It's almost like fate. But the homework's gonna be Nathan for you.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Let's fucking go.
Yes.
So
What episodes are doing?
I'm gonna pick 3 episodes, and then do 3 episodes of Community. I'll stick to that, and they're pretty short.
Yeah.
It's 20-minute episodes, so. This is the only thing that I didn't really get to. I guess I'll pick them right now, or unless you guys.
I already feel uncomfortable.
I'm
What's the
already
show
like,
on?
cringing.
It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
I think. Yeah, it's gotta be on Hulu. And then I guess we're gonna watch the anecdote, which is like kind of already brought up, and we're gonna do the souvenir shop one. I actually don't know which episodes from which seasons, but I'll look them up. And
Okay.
I'm trying to think. We could do Dumb Starbucks. We'll do that one too.
I was gonna say probably Dumb Starbucks, right?
Yeah, but we'll do those 3, and I'll link which episodes from which seasons they are. But we'll do that.
Okay. Cool. Dang, I should have known. Alright, my next homework's Eric Andre. We're gonna watch the entire show.
It's not that long, right? How long is it?
What, Eric Andre?
Yeah.
It's, I mean...
I watched it in maybe a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would take some time. I would not
I'll go ahead and
actually
tell
do
you.
that.
I'm gonna skip that.
Yeah? That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah.
Cool. Looking forward to it.
Sick.
Oh yeah.
Am I supposed to say something?
I mean,
Everybody
I
said
don't
their
know.
the little pieces.
You're the host this episode, so.
I thought I just
lead.
needed a sick one-word.
Oh, I get what you mean.
Nice.
You can have multiple words right now,
Okay.
maybe.
I don't have any words.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for
Bye, everybody.
There are no
Listening
words.
What Jason has
Don't
to say is
forget-
indescribable.
That's how I would describe this podcast.
Honestly,
Delete the description right now.
incomparable. I'm deleting all descriptions from the YouTube videos and the audio platforms. You see what I did there, guys?
Yeah, you
Plug.
plugged it in.
That's called a plug.
Those are my words. Spotify and Apple. Is it Apple Music? Is it
Podcasts.
something else? Apple Podcasts?
Podcasts.
It's called Apple Podcasts.
Oh.
Yeah,
Is it just a part of Apple Music? Why is it called?
it's a. I don't know.
It's a different
I think it's its
app.
own app. Yeah.
It's a different app.
Apple actually be on some other shit.
Yeah, it's up on those. It'll probably be up on like Amazon Audible. I don't know. I just clicked everything that we could put it up on, and
What about
I'm
SoundCloud?
waiting to hear back from some of them. SoundCloud's not an option for the thing,
Huh.
but also I don't think anyone
Just
I don't
pieces
think
of-
anyone
podcasts
cares
on
right
SoundCloud.
now. So
Yeah. That's
with
it.
that,
These are tough times we live in. Some people may be solely relying on SoundCloud. But
Well, then they can get over
then we
it.
can
and
leave
watch
They
on
can go to
YouTube.
they can go to YouTube.
put this on the pirate thing. On LimeWire.
Oh man. All right. Well,
All right, well,
bye.
Bye,
Nothing for
everybody.
you. Bye.